Joan Crawford remains one of the most recognizable faces of classic Hollywood, a woman whose name evokes glamour, ambition, and unparalleled determination. Rising from humble beginnings, she transformed herself into a powerful star who dominated screens for decades. Behind the bright lights and red carpet smiles, however, lay a private life fraught with struggle, insecurity, and strict control over those around her. Her story is one of contrasts: public triumph and private turbulence, dazzling success and personal hardship. Crawford's death in 1977 didn't just mark the end of a career, it revealed layers of her life that had been hidden from public view. When her estate was opened, the discoveries were shocking, challenging the carefully curated image of a devoted mother and a polished Hollywood legend. The revelations that followed painted a portrait far more complex than the silver screen persona. Early life and childhood hardships. Born Lucille Fay LeSueur in San Antonio, Texas, Joan Crawford entered a world marked by adversity. Her father abandoned the family when she was very young, leaving her mother to raise her and her older brother alone. Poverty and hard labor defined her early years. And by the age of 11, Joan was working with her hands roughened by cleaning work, carrying responsibilities far beyond her age. A traumatic accident at 12 left her with a lifelong fear of infection, shaping the obsession with cleanliness that would later define her personality. These formative experiences instilled a sense of resilience, determination, and a willingness to fight for survival. Her difficult childhood fostered traits that fueled her drive for stardom, but also seeded the personal challenges she would later face in relationships and family life. The journey to stardom. Joan Crawford's escape from hardship began through dance and performance, as she honed her talent in Chicago and New York under the stage name Billy Casson. Her presence and dedication caught the attention of talent scouts, leading to a contract with MGM in 1925 and a new identity as Joan Crawford. The transformation from a struggling girl to a glamorous star was swift and calculated. Crawford's early films, including Our Dancing Daughters, showcased her relentless drive and precision, often performing until physically exhausted to perfect each scene. Her rise mirrored the aspirational narratives she would later portray on screen, women clawing their way from poverty to prominence. The studio's crafting of her image, combined with her personal work ethic, positioned her as a symbol of ambition and empowerment during the Roaring '20s and the early Hollywood Golden Age. Stardom, rivalries, and public persona. By the mid-1930s, Crawford had solidified her place as a Hollywood powerhouse, starring in hits like Grand Hotel and Sadie McKee. Her on-screen portrayals of resilient women resonated with audiences struggling through the Great Depression. Yet behind the scenes, rivalries simmered. Her competition with Norma Shearer, who had close ties to MGM executives, fueled frustration, while her contrast with Greta Garbo highlighted differences in public relatability. Crawford's personal life was equally turbulent, marked by multiple marriages and challenges in family life. Her ability to perform tirelessly on screen belied the insecurities and difficulties she faced at home, creating a duality between the public's perception of a confident, commanding star and the private reality of a woman managing complex relationships and personal struggles. Personal life and family complexities. Crawford's personal life was marked by a series of marriages and adoptions, revealing both her desire for family and the challenges in creating one. Unable to have biological children, she adopted 4 children: Christina, Christopher, and twins Kathy and Cindy, sometimes navigating legally complicated arrangements. While she projected an image of a perfect, glamorous mother, Reports and memoirs suggest a controlling and sometimes harsh household environment. Marriages to Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Franco Toni, and Philip Terry were fraught with challenges ranging from infidelity to conflict. These experiences shaped her private world, reinforcing patterns of control and discipline that would later be mirrored in her household, creating tensions between the public perception of Crawford and the lived reality of her children. Career reinvention and triumph. The late 1930s and early 1940s brought a critical turning point in Crawford's career. After being labelled box office poison, she faced professional uncertainty. Yet Crawford's instincts and determination propelled her to take bold steps, ending her MGM contract and signing with Warner Brothers. She strategically waited for roles that allowed her to regain control and authority over her projects. This gamble paid off with Mildred Pierce in 1945, a film that earned her an Academy Award and cemented her comeback. Crawford's
on-screen characters of self-sacrificing, determined women reflected aspects of her personal resilience, showcasing the convergence of art and lived experience. This era highlighted her ability to adapt, reinvent, and thrive, proving her talent and determination could overcome industry obstacles and personal adversity. Later, career challenges and aging in Hollywood. Even after her successful comeback, Crawford faced the pressures of aging in a Hollywood obsessed with youth. She continued to work in films that allowed her to explore complex, often dark female characters, earning further acclaim and nominations. However, off-screen, she struggled with declining health, increased alcohol consumption, and domestic difficulties. Her volatility intensified, impacting her relationship with her children and colleagues. Crawford's later career demonstrates both the resilience of a star who defied ageist industry standards and the personal costs of a life spent under intense scrutiny. These challenges reinforce the contrast between her public image and private experiences, offering insight into the pressures faced by women in Hollywood during mid-20th century. Family estrangement and the will. When Crawford passed away in 1977, her carefully constructed public image clashed dramatically with the revelations of her estate. Her will shocked both the public and her family, excluding her adopted children, Christina and Christopher, while providing modest sums for Kathy and Cindy. The document not only distributed assets, but also served as a public statement of estrangement, reflecting long-standing tensions within the family. Legal battles followed, with Christina and Christopher contesting the will and highlighting Crawford's possible mental instability, erratic behavior, and influence of advisors. The will illuminated the dissonance between the glamorous persona Crawford presented and the fractured relationships within her household, leaving a lasting impact on Hollywood and her children's lives. Disturbing discoveries in her homes. Beyond the will, the examination of Crawford's personal possessions revealed unsettling aspects of her private life. Investigators and family members discovered unusual collections, such as doll heads and heavily locked rooms, which appeared symbolic of Crawford's obsession with control and perfection. Items hidden away in closets, scratches on doors, and safes containing private correspondence further emphasized the hidden layers of her life. These discoveries painted a portrait of a woman whose meticulous, controlling nature extended into her domestic spaces, creating a sense of mystery and unease. The physical artifacts from her home mirrored the tensions and rigid structure reported in her family dynamics, offering tangible evidence of the private struggles that defined Crawford's later years. Public controversy and memoir revelations. The drama surrounding Crawford's estate was compounded by Christina Crawford's memoir Mommy Dearest, which depicted Joan as abusive, controlling, and emotionally distant. The book confirmed many suspicions raised by the will and household discoveries, fueling public debate about Crawford's parenting and private character. The memoir brought personal grievances into the public sphere, challenging the narrative of a devoted mother and admired star. It offered insight into the pressures Crawford faced while balancing fame, ambition, and family life, and highlighted the often unseen costs of Hollywood stardom. Christina's account cemented the contrast between public image and private reality, demonstrating how personal narratives can challenge cultural perceptions of iconic figures. Haunted legacy and paranormal reports. In the years following Crawford's death, her former homes became the subject of haunting rumors. Brentwood's El Jodo Mansion, once a hub of Hollywood glamour, was said to harbor paranormal activity. Cold spots, disembodied voices, and ghostly apparitions. Reports focused on spaces associated with her children, reinforcing the idea of lingering emotional energy tied to Crawford's control and family tensions. Even items sold at auction were rumored to carry eerie presences. These stories, whether fact or folklore, reflected society's fascination with Crawford's life and the unresolved tensions left behind. Reflections on a complex legacy. Joan Crawford's life story embodies the duality of Hollywood stardom, extraordinary professional success juxtaposed with personal struggle and family conflict. Her disciplined ambition, reinvention, and resilience remain inspirational, yet the private turmoil, controlling behavior, and estranged family relationships complicate her legacy. Her estate, possessions, and the accounts of her children continue to provoke debate about the price of fame and the enduring effects of early life hardships. Crawford's narrative is a reminder that behind public personas, even legendary figures carry private burdens and complexities.